Hello and welcome to Country Ways. I'm your host. My name is Jim Walker. Today we're visiting the Mankin Cattle Company, home of Missouri Legacy Beef, where Mark and Susie Mankin, along with their 4 sons, operate an 1,100-acre cattle ranch. Much of the work on this ranch, which has been home to 3 generations of the Mankin family, is still being done on horseback. The workday begins early at the Mankin Cattle Company as Wrangler West Bush brings the horses in from night pasture. There is no need to rope these ranch horses, as a bucket of feed is all the encouragement they need to come to the gate. Good horses are often like that. They enjoy their work and are willing partners with the cowboys. In addition to Wes, the other cowboys on the ranch include the 4 Mankin brothers, Grant, Blake, Harrison, and Miles, and on especially busy days, father and ranch owner Mark Mankin also saddles up and helps bring in cattle. CVTV caught up with the Mankin crew on a recent morning when an overnight thunderstorm had left the pens and corrals ankle deep in mud. Hi Mark, I'm Jim Walker.
Jim, good to see you. Welcome to Mankin Cattle Company. How can we help you today?
We're sure glad to be here, and we've heard a lot about Mankin Cattle Company and Missouri Legacy Beef. We'd like to just join you this morning as you send your boys out on the ranch shore.
Sure thing.
What have you got in store for them today?
Well, it's just going to be kind of a usual day for us. After the rain broke up a little bit here, we're going to go out and get some calves up off the pasture and bring them in, and we'll have a feed truck making its rounds, and then we'll have a couple cowboys riding horses later on, showing you how that works, breaking and training horses, Jim.
Well, great. We're looking forward to it, and we'll try and stay out of your hair and let you get your work done.
Well, once again, welcome. We're glad to have you, and take any shot you want to, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, fellas, let's get to work. All right. Let's talk about today. Wes, you're going to be breaking horses today after we kind of get lined out.
Yeah.
Grant, I need you and Blake and Harrison, all 3 of you over there in pin number 34. Bringing in the black cattle. There's 56 head there. We'll want those cattle brought in along the lane. We'll bring them into the corral for working later on. Anybody got any questions? All right, let's get saddled up and move.
The Mankin Cattle Company is a family-owned and operated 1,100-acre cattle ranch and feed yard in Sheridan County, Missouri. Mark and Susie Mankin have been operating the ranch for the past 25 years and are the 3rd generation to do so. During the early 1900s, Mark's grandfather, William Henry Mankin, farmed and raised cattle in Lafayette County with his wife and 4 sons. In those days, the cattle were free-range, grazed on good Missouri pasture for much of the production process. Then, when the time was right, cattle were driven to the barn where they would be fed fresh, all-natural feeds before being returned to the pasture in the evening. In those days, the cattle never left the farm and were kept disease-free and healthy in an all-natural way. At just the right time, a young animal was harvested and processed right there on the farm, which assured safe, healthy, and delicious beef. With the passage of time, the Mankin family started farming and raising cattle in Sheridan County and saw their operation grow to a 5,000-head custom feed yard employing up to 25 riders. Today, the operation has undergone additional change and produces a product that is branded as Missouri Legacy Beef. It is based on the concept of free-range, sustainable agriculture and results in a beef product from cattle that are source and age verified by the state of Missouri and that have never been given antibiotics or growth-producing hormones. If an animal should require antibiotics, it is properly treated and then removed from the program. The cattle are handled in small groups as the production process requires large pastures to free range. Calves are kept on grass and fed a balanced, low-starch, high-fiber ration. At just the right time, individual animals are selected for harvest and processed by a USDA-inspected local processor. Missouri Legacy Beef is proven to have lower amounts of fat and higher levels of CLA and omega-3 than traditional corn-fed beef. Martin, what is a part of your daily routine is a real treat for us, Country Ways program. It's not every day that we get to see cattle being worked on horseback, and it's obvious that the horse is a really important part of this team. Where do you, what can you tell us about what makes a good ranch horse?
A good ranch hand is what makes a good ranch horse, 9 times out of 10. Of course, the horse has to have the breeding in him, and that's a big part of it. Sometimes I've seen a real good cowboy get a whole lot out of a poor horse, and I've seen a poor cowboy get a little out of a good horse.
Do you raise your own horses here on the ranch?
No, Jim. We'll be purchasing the horses from breeders in the area or from a barn, just depending upon the horse that we're interested in at the time and the availability and the price.
I understand that you have your own horse wrangler here.
That's right. Wes Bush has been with us now for 2 or 3 months this time, and a couple months previous to that. And he is a professional horse trainer, and he's doing a real fine job for us here.
Well, why don't we take a look at one of the horses that Wes has in training, and we'll catch up with him down at the round pen.
That sounds good. I'm going to tie old Biscuit up here. He's one that's not in training anymore, and that's why I ride him.
Good. I'm here with Wes Bush. Wes is the wrangler and horse trainer for the Mankin Cattle Company. He's getting ready to mount up on a what most people think is a brown horse, but he's really a green horse, isn't he, Wes?
Yeah, pretty green.
Have you ridden this horse before?
Not yet. We got him, and he was real green, like you say, kind of halter broke, and could lead him around, but that's about it. But I've done a lot of groundwork, saddling him and driving him around and everything, and I think we'll start with that today, but I think he's about ready for that first ride, so.
He's going to give me his first ride today.
We'll see about that. If he's ready, we'll do it.
I'm here with Susie Mankin, who is really the head cowboy on the Mankin Cattle Company. Susie, really, what is your role here?
Well, Jim, I'm the office manager and the main support staff for the Missouri Legacy Beef and Mankin Cattle Company. I run the office and work with the customers at the farmers market.
You see a lot of cattle run through this operation in a year's time. A lot of record keeping, I guess. How do you keep up with all of it?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Well, when the cattle come in, they are weighed up. Some of them are individually weighed and ear tagged and processed that way. They're assigned a lot number, so we know each group of cattle when they come in, who they belong to, what they weighed. They have an identity as a lot. As they go out, same thing happens. They are kept track of, sometimes individually by the head.
I understand that you have some pretty immediate plans to open a store here. What can you tell us about that?
Well, our little business has grown faster than we really expected it to, and we are in the process of trying to find a walk-in freezer to keep in this office here that you see behind you, so we can have a storefront or a country store for people to purchase beef.
Susie, I introduced you as a head cowboy, but you really have a bigger job than that. You're really mom here, is that right?
That's right. We have 4 boys, 3 of whom are pretty much grown. Have a 12-year-old, and then have my husband.
Sounds to me like you got your hands full keeping up after that many.
It's a full-time job, but they're good guys to keep track of.
Susie, we certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to visit with us. We're going to go back up to the horse barn and sit down with all the Mankin family and just find out what we can about Missouri Legacy Beef.